So good morning everyone. We are group 1 and our topic is all about the chapter 3, which is science and technology and nations building. So here's learning objectives. So at the end of this lesson, students should be able to first discuss the role of science and technology in the Philippines nation building. Second is evaluate government science and technology agenda and policies in terms of their contributions to nations building. Third, appraise of the actual science and technology policies of the government and its impact on the development of the Filipino nations. And last is to analyze the indigenous science and technologies. First, we will be discussing about the Philippine Government Science and Technology Agenda. So first, I introduce myself. My name is Shari Ann Morante. So, the Philippine Government Science and Technology Agenda. So, ano nga ba ibig sabihin nun? Dito natin mapag-uusapan the plan and the programs of the Philippine government to develop science and technology in our country. So, dito mapag-uusapan natin how the government wants to achieve in areas like research, innovation, industry, agriculture, the internet, and climate adaptation. So, the agenda also includes here the strategies, funding, and programs to support scientists. Ayan, dito natin mag-uusapan yon. The engineers and inventors in making the Philippines more innovative and competitive. So, in introduction, science and technology in nations building, or SNT, plays a big role in improving lives and developing our country. Innovations help solve problems and create sustainable progress. Filipino scientists continue to make breakthroughs that benefit the people. So, ibig sabihin lang na ang science and technology ay tumutulong sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa in a way na makapag-invent ng mga iba't ibang technology. Ayan, dito mas mapapadali yung pamumuhay ng tao sa trabaho, sa komunikasyon. Ayan. So, together with the help of Filipino scientists and innovators, so malaking part sila sa pag-progress ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. So next is innovations culture. The Philippines is developing an innovations ecosystem. So sabi dyan, we need more scientists, researchers, and inventors to sustain progress. It is only possible to build an innovations ecosystem if there are enough scientists and technicians. So projects like SaltLam, Salamander Tricycles, and Diwata 1 microsatellite that show our potential. So, ibig sabihin, innovations culture is tumutukoy sa pagpapalaganap ng mga bagong idea ng science and innovations na makakatulong sa pag-unlad ng isang countries. So, ayan, we need more scientists, sabi dyan, like researchers, inventors, para magpatuloy yung progress ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Kasi after discovery na mga na-invent at kapag naging necessary to or essential to sa mga tao and nakita natin na mas naging convenient yung pamumuhay nila, nagiging malaking part siya as contribution ng Philippines sa iba't ibang bansa. Ayan. So, project like using SaltLam, ayan, Salamander Tricycle, and Diwata 1 microsatellite is yun yung mga na-invent ng mga Filipino scientists natin, which is malaki siyang factor. Yun nga na makikita dito na ang Philippines ay sumasabay dun sa mga iba't ibang bansa na meron silang mga scientists na nakakapag-invent sila ng mga iba't ibang technology. So, dito pa lang nakikita na yung potential na meron tayong potential on how to invent and basis the science. So, the first one that na-invent ng isang Filipino scientist is tinatawag nating SaltLam. or sustainable alternative, alternative lighting lamp. So, ang salt lamp ay naimbento ni Aiza Mijeno, isang Pilipina scientist at engineer, kung saan ang layunin niya ay magbigay ng mga ilaw sa mga rural areas or liblib na lugar and sa mga coastal areas na mga walang kuryente. So, sabi dyan, power source runs on salt water, 2 tablespoons of salt plus yung 1 glass of water that can light up for up to 8 hours. Ayan. So, gumagana daw yung salt lamp niya in a way na maglalagay ka ng 2 kutsarang asin, ayan, isang baso at isang basong tubig. At yung lamp daw na to is tumatagal ng 8 hours, so 8 oras. So, yung scientific principles niya is works like a galvanic cell using saline solution instead of electrolytes. So, ipaliwanag natin. So, ang galvanic cells means voltaic device kung saan nagpo-produce ng electricity from chemical reaction. Like, ang way niya is gumamit ng asin at tubig. Ayan. Or saline solutions bilang isang energy source na imbes na traditional electrolytes. So, para malaman natin ano nga ba ang electrolytes, so ang electrolytes are liquids or substances that may such as acids, bases, or salts to conduct electricity when it's dissolved to water. So, ang galvanic cells is example dito yung saline solution or ginagamitan ng salt. Well, the electrolytes is substances din siya like acid, ginagamitan ng acid, bases, or salt, ayan, to conduct electricity when it's dissolved to water. So, yung mga common electrolytes like table salt, ayan, sodium chloride are safe. But some electrolytes in regular batteries like uses of sulfuric acid or other strong chemicals can be toxic, corrosive, or flammable that which make them dangerous if natapunan tayo or na-inhale natin siya. So, kaya ang ginawa ni Aiza Mijeno to prevent harmful sa mga tao mas convenient kasi asin lang na nakakapag-produce ng light. So, ayan, na-invent niya yung salt instead of acids or electrolytes, ayan, acids or bases. So, the salt lamp ay safe gamitin because it uses natural salt water as the electrolyte. Ayan. No harmful chemicals, acid, or risk of fire. So, mas eco-friendly to kumpara sa kerosene lamp na, yun nga, yung gas na ginagamit natin or gas, ayan. Wala rin itong nakakasamang usok or carbon emission, kaya ito ay environment-friendly na solutions yung gawa ni Aiza. And ito ay ginagamit na ilaw sa iba't ibang part ng rural areas. So, pinatunayan ni Aiza Mijeno na isa siyang, bukod sa karamihan kasi sa mga Filipino scientists is, Filipino scientists or sa iba't iba pang scientists, ay halos lahat mga lalaki. But siya ay isang babae. So, pinatunayan niya na may angking talino at pagiging malikhain, ayan, pagdating sa science and technology. So, na-invento niya yung lamp para makatulong sa mga rural areas and sa mga coastal areas. Yeah, so this promotes as clean energy, innovations, and as part of Filipino, and as part sa country ng Philippines, malaki siyang contribution. Next is salamander tricycle. So, Filipino inventions na ginawa ni Ate Leif at Dominic Chung na mga founder ng H2O Technologies. So, what it is? It is a special tricycle that can travel both on land and water. So, a special tricycle pala siya kasi kaya niyang it can travel from sa lupa or sa tubig. Kaya perfect siya sa mga lugar na mas madalas bahain. Ayan. So may dalawang version ito. Yung isa ginagamitan ng isang gasoline powered or 250cc engine at yung isa naman is electric powered by kilowatt motor. So, dalawang version. So, yung isa is for gasoline. So, sa lupa. Ayan. As you can see sa picture, nagagamit siya. While nagagamit din natin siya sa tubig. Ayan. So, how it works. So, kapag nasa lupa, yung gulong yung nagpapatakbo nito. And kapag nasa tubig naman, yung propeller, yung nagtutulak doon sa tricycle para makalutang at makagalaw. So, meron din siyang propeller doon. Para kung paano siya aandal sa tubig. So, why it is important? Because ginawa ito to help people travel safely during floods. So, para ito sa mga kapag na-disaster ka ng mga bagyo, ayan, binaha. So, nakakatulong pala itong innovation na to. Ayan, sa mga, mahalaga ito dahil nakakatulong ito sa mga Pilipinong nakatira sa mga flood-prone areas upang makabiyahe ng ligtas kapag may baha. Ayan. So, kumbaga, siya, 2-in-1. Pwede sa lupa, pwede sa tubig. So, convenient siya. Parang anytime, anywhere, ganon. Next is salamander tricycle. So, Filipino inventions na ginawa ni Ate Liv at Dominic Chung na mga founder ng H2O Technologies. So, what it is a special tricycle that can travel both on land and water. So, a special tricycle pala siya kasi kaya niyang it can travel from sa lupa or sa tubig. Kaya perfect siya sa mga lugar na mas madalas bahain. Ayan. So, may dalawang version ito. Yung isa ginagamitan ng isang gasoline powered or 250cc engine at yung isa naman is electric powered by kilowatt motor. So, dalawang version. So, yung isa is for gasoline, so sa lupa, ayan. As you can see sa picture, nagagamit siya. While nagagamit din natin siya sa tubig. Ayan. So, how it works. So, kapag nasa lupa, yung gulong yung nagpapatakbo nito. And kapag nasa tubig naman, yung propeller, yung nagtutulak doon sa tricycle para makalutang at makagalaw. So, meron din siyang propeller doon. Para kung paano siya aandal sa tubig. So, why it is important? Because ginawa ito to help people travel safely during floods. So, para ito sa mga kapag na-disaster ka ng mga bagyo, ayan, binaha. So, nakakatulong pala itong innovation na to. Ayan, sa mga, mahalaga ito dahil nakakatulong ito sa mga Pilipinong nakatira sa mga flood-prone areas upang makabiyahe ng ligtas kapag may baha. Ayan. So, kumbaga, siya, 2-in-1. Pwede sa lupa, pwede sa tubig. So, convenient siya. Parang anytime, anywhere, ganon. Next is Diwata 1 microsatellite. So, what it is? So, the first Filipino-made microsatellite that launched into space. So, ang Diwata 1 microsatellite is kauna-unahang innovations as microsatellite na gawa ng mga Pilipino and nag-launch these innovations sa outer space. So, ang main goals niya is to monitor the environmental changes. Ayan. and help in disaster management and mapping, and support science based on conservations in the Philippines. So, maganda yung na-invent nila due to ang goals kasi nila is to monitor kung ano nga ba yung mga changes sa outer space. Kasi malaking factor kung may pagbabago sa outer space, and malaki din yung chance na mabago yung environment ng bawat bansa. Like mabago yung pattern or seasons weather or yung day and night sa Pilipinas. Kasi imposible dahil nasa equator tayo. Kaya it can be helpful yung satellite na to para ma-observe or ma-monitor anytime kung ano nga ba ang nangyayari and mapaghandaan natin. Yan. So, helpful siya sa mga ahensya ng mga disaster management. So, karamihan sa kanila sila yung mga nag-aaral kung ano nga ba yung nangyayari sa outer space. So, syempre, kailangan ng technology. So, gumamit sila ng microsatellite. Ayan. So, achievements. So, it spent 4 years in space. Ayan. Then, nag-orbit siya sa Earth at 22,643 times. And nagpa-pass over siya sa Philippines at 4,800 times. And kumukuha siya ng mga litrato on how many 45,572 of Earth. Ayan, kumukuha rin pala siya ng larawan, including 17,271 images of the Philippines. And kayang-kaya na rin kumuha ng litrato that covered about 38% of the country land areas ng Philippines. So, ganun kalaki yung tulong ng Diwata microsatellite pagdating sa environmental changes, ano yung mga posibleng mabago. So, kailangan updated. Ayan. That part na may mga pictures, mas nakikita nila ano nga ba ang nangyayari sa outer space and paano ito makaka-apekto sa Earth and sa pamumuhay ng mga tao. Ayan. So, mahalaga ito dahil malaking hakbang ito sa Philippine space technology, which is tumutulong sa pag-monitor ng mga kapaligiran, ayan, on how to respond the calamity. And isa to sa mga patunay that Filipino can achieve the global scientific milestone. Ibig sabihin, ang mga Pilipino is kaya rin makipagsabayan pagdating sa mga pag-iimbento ng mga technology na makakatulong sa atin at sa iba't ibang bansa din as contribution. So next is ASEAN integration requires competitive technology. So ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So ito ay isang international organization. So it is a group of 10 countries in Southeast Asia working together to improve economic growth, trade, educations, and cooperations. The members are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. So ASEAN's meron silang main goal is to help the countries grow together, share resources, and stay competitive globally. So sabi nga dyan, ASEAN integrations means that the Philippines works closely with other Southeast Asian countries in terms of trade, education, and technology. So to keep up and compete with other Asian nations, so the Philippines must improve its science and technology. So para mag-work together yung science and technology development, so kinakailangan makipag-cooperate with other Southeast Asian countries. So science and technology help us understand nature, create new invention, and solve problems in modern ways. So ASEAN is strengthening our scientific knowledge and technological skills so Filipino can become more competitive, innovative, and economically strong in the ASEAN community. So next is two major approaches for S&T development. So meaning, meron daw dalawang paraan or strategies in the Philippines in using to improve science and technology. So ano nga ba yung dalawang paraan na yun para ma-improve natin yung science and technology? So the first one is stronger research and development in the regions. So meaning that focus on all regions, not just in Manila. The second is to increase funding for research by a DOST Council such as PCIERD, PCARD, and ASTI. So yung mga nabanggit ko na yun is councils or agencies that under DOST or Department of Science and Technology that help support research and development in specific areas. So, number one is PCIERD. So, si PCIERD is Philippines Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, which is, itong agency na to is nakafocus sa research for development in industry, energy, and new technologies. And sila yung sumusupport for the projects or research that help industries grow and innovate. Second is PCAARD, or the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development. So, ito namang pangalawang agency na to is nakafocus sila sa research for agriculture, fisheries, and natural resources, which is tumutulong sila to support on how to improve food production, farming methods, and sustainability. And last is yung ASTI or ASTI, the Advanced Science and Technology Institute. So, focuses sila yung mga research, sa research sila nakafocus on advanced technology. Ayan, yung mga research na yan. Focuses the technology, electronics, and space programs. To support, sila yung mga nagsusupport for projects like satellite, ICT, and other high-tech innovation. Ayan, sila yung mga agency and may mga specific areas sila kung saan sila pwedeng magbigay ng tulong o support to give funding research with those specific areas such as the agriculture, meron namang for ICT or satellite, meron namang for industry. Ayan. So, work or collaborate with regional university to support research programs. So, isa rin siyang paraan to mas ma-develop yung science and technology, makapag-innovate ng mas marami. So, kailangan natin makipag-collaborate with regional universities for ideas, ayan, for suggestion ng mga iba't ibang university. So, magkaroon ng collab, ayan, for research programs. Next is support food production, industry, and innovations in local areas. And last is, it is important because of climate change, high electricity costs, and the need to spread. And yung pangalawa is strategic project in 5 areas. So, ito na may pangalawa on how to develop science and technology. Ayan, so mayroong mga strategic projects sa 5 areas. Una is renewable energy. So, to develop technologies that provide clean and sustainable electricity. Ayan, so kailangan magkaroon tayo ng renewable energy and ma-reduce yung reliance on fossil fuels and lower energy costs, and support the Philippines in meeting international climate commitments. So, yun yung unang areas, which is renewable energy. So, project tayo ng renewable energy. Pangalawa, letter B, S&T for industrial development. is to revive and strengthen local industries like steel and manufacturing, involve scientists and engineers to develop innovative solutions, and promote technology-driven growth across industry in the country. So, pangalawang project to develop science and technology is kailangan tayo ng industrial development. So, that focus local industries by manufacturing. Kailangan tayo ng mga involved scientists and engineers to creating innovative solution. Letter C, or pangatlong areas, is to faster and less expensive internet, meaning to improve internet speed and access across the Philippines, reduce the digital gap between cities and rural areas, and enable better communications, educations, and business opportunities. So, sa pangatlo is magkaroon ng mabilisang internet or affordable and less expensive. So, pangatlong projects yun to develop the science and technology. To improve internet, so ma-reduce yung pagkakaroon ng digital divide between the urban and rural areas. So, may mga tao kasi pagdating sa urban, mas more on accessible sila pagdating sa mga internet, gadgets. Ayan. Unlike sa mga rural areas is sobrang hina ng signal. So, isa siya sa mga projects na kailangan ma-develop. Next. So, letter D, for number 4 areas is increase food production. So, use modern technology to grow more crops even on limited land, improve crop quality and reduces losses, and last is to reduce dependence on imported fertilizer and other inputs. So, to improve, kailangan natin mag-increase ang food production by using modern technology, ayan, to limited land, and to improve crop quality, and ma-reduce natin yung mga pagiging dependent natin pagdating sa mga imported fertilizer na ginagamit natin sa agriculture and farming. And last areas is letter E, climate change adaptation. So, give farmers tools and method to handle changing weather, promote resilient farming practices for better harvest, and remove or replace old or inefficient technology that lower productivity. So, ito naman is nakabase sa climate change. So, kailangan makapag-provide tayo sa mga farmers ng mga tools, mga technology, kung paano mahahandle kapag nagkaroon ng changing weather. Ayan. Like, yung ang dami na invento ngayon, lalo na kapag bumagyo, di ba? May mga, kung tawagin, robot na. So, imbis na yung tao yung gumagapas or nag-harvest ng palay, so meron na tayong tinatawag na mga machine, ayan, na robot, yung mga nag-harvest na ng makina, ayan. So, mas mabilisan pag kunyari may mga instances na may mga papalapit na bagyo. So, ginagamit na rin siya para mas makatulong, ayan, mas ma-improve pagdating sa agriculture. So, last is mechanism and support for S&T growth. So, to support for science and technology development, so the first is magkaroon ng increased research funds from DOST and planning bodies. Second is Balik Scientist Program that we'll be discussing by next reporter, which is to encourage scientists abroad to return. Ayan. Next is to support S&T development is magkaroon ng Young Scientist Retention Program, which is they engage local talent in research programs or projects. So, to support for S&T development is kailangan mag-promote ng industry research collaborations through committees. Next is ASEAN SNT cooperation, especially in space and climate programs. And last is support SMEs programs like SETUP to apply science and technology locally. So yung mga nabanggit ka na yun is part siya to support on how science and technology develop, ayan. Which is yung mga programs na yan is madi-discuss by next reporter. And that's it.
Good day everyone. Today, we will be talking about some of the major development programs and important personalities that help shape science and technology in the Philippines. These programs are not just about inventions or machines. They represent our country's effort to improve people's lives, strengthen industries, and prepare us for future challenges. So through these initiatives, we can see how science and technology play an important role in building a smarter, safer, and more progressive nation. Science and technology have always been important drivers of national development. And in the Philippines, various programs were created to improve education, research, disaster preparedness, and even business operations. And these initiatives allows us to compete globally and find local solutions to local problems. They also open doors for Filipino scientists, engineers, and students to use their talents to help the nation grow. And today, we will explore 5 major development programs that have made a big impact on our country's progress. Now, let's start with the Doppler radar system developed by Pag-asa. The first Doppler weather radar station was built in Baler, Aurora, followed by another in Baguio City. The main goal of these radars is to improve weather forecasting and disaster risk reduction. Doppler radars can detect the volume of rain and also track the movement and strength of typhoons, which is important for countries like Philippines that experiences an average of 20 typhoons every year. And by 2017, Pag-asa completed 4 Doppler radars and 2 flood forecasting and also warning centers. So these technologies help predict floods and storms more accurately, giving communities more time to prepare and save lives. This shows how science and technology can be used for public safety and disaster resilience. Next is the RA 7687, the Scholarship Program, or also called the Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 1994. This program was created to support deserving and talented Filipino students who want to pursue careers in science, engineering, and mathematics. Under this law, the government provides financial assistance to students taking up courses in basic sciences, applied sciences, engineering, and science or math education. And in return, after they graduate, scholars must serve the country for a number of years equal to how long they enjoyed the scholarship. This ensures that their knowledge and skills are used to benefit the Philippines, whether by teaching, doing research, or starting technology-based businesses. It is a great way to encourage young Filipinos to study science and to make sure that our countries grow its skilled professionals. Another important program is SETUP, which stands for Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program. It is a national strategy by the Department of Science and Technology, or the DOST, to help small and medium enterprises, or SMEs, become more productive and competitive through technology. Many local businesses struggle with outdated tools or lack of modern equipment. So SETUP helps solve that by providing funding, equipment, and technical training so these enterprises can upgrade their operations. It also helps them produce better quality products, reduce waste, and meet national, even international standards. So through SETUP, Filipino entrepreneurs can grow their businesses, create jobs, and contribute to economic growth. showing how technology can empower even small communities. Now, let's talk about the Balik Scientists Act, officially known as Republic Act 11035, which was signed by President Rodrigo Duterte on June 15, 2018. The word balik means return, and this program invites Filipino scientists who are working abroad to come back to the Philippines and share their expertise. The goal is to strengthen the country's scientific community by encouraging these experts to return, even temporarily, to train local researchers, assist in projects, or develop new technologies. The Balik Scientists program helps bring knowledge and innovation that can be applied in agriculture, health, energy, engineering, and other vital sectors. And it is a program that reconnects Filipino talent with national development. One of the most exciting developments in recent years is the creation of Philippine Space Agency, or PhilSA. Under Republic Act 11363, PhilSA is the country's official government agency for space research and development. Its main responsibility is to plan, direct, and carry out projects related to space science, satellite technology, and space exploration. PhilSA also helps the countries in many ways, such as improving communication, navigation, weather forecasting, environmental monitoring, and even disaster management through the use of satellites. And the establishments of PhilSA shows that the Philippines is ready to step up into the global stage of space science. It also inspires a new generation of Filipinos to dream bigger, proving that space technology is not only for rich countries, but for developing nations like Philippines as well. To wrap things up, all these programs, from the Doppler radars to Balik Scientists Act and also PhilSA, shows that Philippines' strong commitment to progress through science and technology. These initiatives improves our disaster readiness, support our young scientists, strengthen local industries, and even launch us into space. They show that when we invest in knowledge and even innovation, we invest in a better future for our people. So science and technology are not just about machines or experiments, they are about using human creativity and intelligence to solve problems and make life better for everyone. And with the programs like this, the Philippines continues to move forward.
Good day everyone! Today, we will explore some of the most important Filipino personalities in science and technology. These individual-made inventions and discoveries that help not only our country, but the whole world. So let's get started. First is Dr. Fe Del Mundo. So, itong si Dr. Fe Del Mundo, isa siya mga most respected pediatrician in the Philippines. And pinanganak siya noong 1911. And siya yung unang babaeng na admit sa Harvard Medical School. And siya din yung unang babae na tinawag na national scientist in the Philippines. So, si Dr. Fe Del Mundo, she dedicated her entire life to improving healthcare for Filipino children and founded the very first pediatric hospital in the country. Let's proceed to her inventions. So, one of her greatest invention is the bamboo incubator. So, yung low-cost device na to, nakatulong siya sa mga premature babies na makasurvive, especially sa mga rural areas where yung mga advanced na medical equipment is limited lang. Isa pa sa mga create niya is a jaundice treatment device, introduced the brat diet, and established the Institute of Maternal and Child Health, the first in Asia. So, dahil sa mga work niya na to, naka-receive siya ng several awards including the Ramon Magsaysay Award and the Elizabeth Blackwell Award. Now, let's proceed to Gregorio Sara. So, si Gregorio Sara is national scientist and an engineer and physicist. And he held more than 30 patents, made big contributions in the field of communication and aviation. So, yung mga invention niya, nakatulong siya na magkaroon ng scientific technology na mas practical and accessible. So, let's proceed to his inventions. So, si Gregorio Sara, best known siya sa pag-imbento ng video phone or TV telephone system noong 1955. So, yung mga early technology na to is basically the ancestor of today's video call such as Zoom or Messenger. And si Sara, he also created then the Effect wooden microscope. Isa siyang semi-automatic propeller machine. All wood aircraft propellers and solar-powered airplane ito, an earth induction compass for pilots, and a vapor chambers to visualize radioactive elements. Para siyang talaga siya, truly a genius in engineering. Next is si Felix D. Maramba. So, si Dr. Felix Maramba Sr., isa siyang Filipino scientist known for his innovations in renewable energy and agriculture. Naging famous siya for turning waste into energy and help farms become self-sufficient. And nag-publish din siya ng books on biogas and farm management. So, sa inventions ni Dr. Maramba, isa sa famous niyang invention is the biogas system where kino-convert yung animal waste into methane gas para mag-power sa whole piggery. This made Maya Farms independent from Meralco. Na-invent niya din yung coconut oil fuel generator, which is a cheap and eco-friendly energy source. Yung mga inventions niya nakatulong sa rural communities access energy by using resources that were already available. Next is si Rolando de la Cruz. So, si Rolando de la Cruz, isa siyang inventor na nag-create ng natural cream na ginagamit para mag-treat ng skin cancer, warts, and moles. So, ang interesting dito is that he started as a barber and his curiosity about skin problems led him to develop his breakthrough products. So, ang invention ni Rolando de la Cruz is naka-invent siya ng DEB-CC cream na gawa sa cashew extract. So, it is painless and natural unlike sa mga traditional wart removal methods na ginagamitan ng heat, and pwede siyang maging very painful. So, invention na to won the DOST 2 Class Award and nakagain to ng international recognition. His company, RCC, Amazing Touch, now distributes the cream worldwide. Next is Diosdado Banatao. So, si Diosdado, or also known as Dado, is isang Filipino engineer and inventor na naging successful in Silicon Valley. He studied at the Mapua and Stanford University and known siya as the father of semiconductor technology kasi yung meron siyang groundbreaking work on computer chips. So, sa invention ni Diosdado Banatao, he invented the first single-chip graphical user interface accelerator, which isa siyang technology na nagpapabilis sa computer and ina-allow niya to display images faster. This helps shape modern computer graphics. And nakadevelop din siya ng first 16-bit microprocessor-based calculator and founded tech companies such as Mostron. So today, tumutulong siya sa mga young Filipino student through scholarship under the Banatao Educational Foundation.
Hello everyone, I am Robic S. Yamson, and now I will discuss about science education in the Philippines, science education in basic and tertiary education, and lastly is science school in the Philippines. This slides presents the government's focused effort to enhance science education through establishing science schools. These schools aim to motivate young learners towards science and technology careers, stimulating their inherent scientific abilities. This strategy supports the country's goal of fostering innovation and progress in science-related fields. This slide explains what science education entails. It emphasizes the good teaching requires sound strategies and methods to effectively communicate scientific concepts. Learning science involves mastering processes and literacy that helps students make sense of daily life and environmental phenomena. Science education is a vital both for personal development and national advancement. John Dewey stressed that learning should be connected to the natural environment around students. He believed that nature provides real physical experiences that stimulate social interaction and thinking. These interactions help students develop rich, meaningful, and understanding. According to Marx, science will become one of the most critical subjects in education future. This reflects that idea that scientific knowledge and skills will play a major role in shaping society and progress. Emphasizing science education prepares students to meet future technological and social challenges effectively. Basic education in science is crucial because it develops not only knowledge but also critical thinking and problem-solving skills. It shapes positive attitudes toward learning and exploration, which are essential for personal growth and adapting to everyday challenges. Building this foundation early helps ensure students are prepared to tackle more complex scientific ideas. Higher education expands students' scientific knowledge and equips them with specialized skills necessary for various careers. It plays a key role in producing experts who will contribute to innovations and national progress. Scholarships make science education more accessible, helping meet the growing demand for skilled science professionals in the country. The Manila Science High School, or MSHS, founded on October 1, 1963, is known as the first science high school in the Philippines. It was created to give stronger focus to science and mathematics, preparing students for advanced studies in these fields. However, the school also believes that scientists should not only be skilled but also compassionate and well-rounded. The Philippine Science High School System, or PSHSS, is a government program created for students who show exceptional talent, especially in science and mathematics. Managed by the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, it offers pre-secondary educations through scholarship that focus heavily on science-related subjects. Established under Republic Act No. 3661, its main purpose is to prepare students for future careers in science and technology. The SSES project intends to provide scientific and technical information, skills, and values to Filipino children. Its mission is to provide a learning environment for science-inclined youngsters through a customized curriculum that respects the learner's various intelligence, promote development of lifelong learning abilities, and foster the learner's holistic development. In here, science and health are taught in grade 1 for a longer period of time than other topics for 70 minutes, and for grade 1 through 3 and 80 minutes for grade 4 through to 6. Quezon City Regional Science High School was established on September 17, 1967, originally known as Quezon City Science High School. In 1999, it was designated as the Regional Science High School for the National Capital Region, giving it a more specialized role in science education. The school's curriculum emphasizes science and technology, requiring students to take additional subjects in these areas. Its purpose is to strengthen students' scientific knowledge and skills, preparing them for advanced studies and future careers in science-related fields. The Central Visayas Institute Foundation is recognized as the birthplace of the Dynamic Learning Program, or DLP, an innovative school-based educational approach. DLP combines traditional teaching methods with modern strategies to create more effective learning environment. This program is designed to help students reach high levels of understanding, creativity, and productivity by encouraging independent learning and problem solving.
Today, we are going to explore selected indigenous science and technology. Selected indigenous science and technology, knowledge and practices developed by our ancestors long before modern science arrived. These indigenous systems are part of our culture, tradition, and daily life. Science. Indigenous science is based on indigenous knowledge. This knowledge comes from the life experiences of local communities. It is passed down through the generation, through the stories, poems, and even songs. Some of these beliefs may not be scientifically proven, but they are culturally meaningful and have guided communities for many years. According to Paliwen, indigenous science include the knowledge, skill, and practices that help people interact with nature. These involve agriculture, medicine, and coping with the environmental changes. So the indigenous science is basically the wisdom of our elders that helped them survive and thrive. Indigenous technology. Now, indigenous technology are the product or processes that comes from the indigenous science. This technology were created to match the people's lifestyle, tradition, and needs, and they were adapted to local environment. Example including farming tools, methods of building houses, preserving food, and healing practices. So these tools or techniques may look simple, but they are effectively and sustainable. So here are selected indigenous science and technology. First, weather observation. Weather observation is one great example of indigenous science. Is how early Filipino predicted the weather. They observed nature, specifically animals' behavior. For example, if cows lie down, rain is coming. This is a weather-related belief based on how people observe animals' behavior in relation to the environment over time. Although not scientifically proven, the ideas come from this belief that cows may lie down when the air becomes more humid, which sometimes happens before the rain. Some people think cows lie down to keep a patch of grass dry to eat later. And others believe cows can sense changes in air pressure before a storm and become calmer or the rest more. Another example, if a squirrel build their nest higher, a harsh winter is expected. This is another belief tied to animals' behavior. People observed squirrels and created weather prediction based on patterns. The idea behind it is when squirrels sense harsher or colder winter conditions, they supposedly build their nests, raised higher in the nest to avoid deep snow or the strong winter. A higher nest is though to provide a better protection from the storm. This observation helped them prepare for a storm, plant their crops, or protect their homes. Another one is herbal medicine and traditional healthcare practices. Before modern hospital and medicine, Filipinos rely on plants for healing. Long before the Spanish era, they already used herbs such as garlic, guava, and sambong. Today, the Department of Health even recognized certain herbal plants as effective. Like for example, pag may ubo, papainom ng lagundi. Pag kinakabagan yung mga baby, papainom ng something na mapapait. Here are the traditional practices include, number 1 is hilot. Hilot is a traditional massage for healing. So dati, pag may pilay tayo or naipitan na ugat, is nagpapahilot tayo para magamot ito. Second one is tawas. Using alarms or ritual to diagnose ailments, dito pumapasok yung nausog ka ng mga matatanda or may nanliligaw sa yung kapre or may kumukulam sa iyo. Something like that. And last one is tuli. Traditional circumcisions. So dati hindi pa uso yung sa center yung papatuli. So before, Kwento ng matatanda, pagkayari daw tuliin ang isang lalaki, is tatakbo sila sa ilog para mahugasan yung tinuli sa kanila. So, these practices show how indigenous knowledge play a big role in the health and wellness. Classifying soil. Classifying soil is early Filipino farmers were very knowledgeable about their land. They classified soil by observing their color, texture, and fertility. Through this observation, they could tell important things about their farmland. They knew which crop would be the best in a certain type of soil, which part of land needed time to rest, and how to take care of soil so it would stay healthy. Because of this skill, communities were able to produce more food while protecting the environment. This shows the wisdom and practical science used by early Filipino in farming. Food preservation. Let's talk about the food preservation. Ancient Filipino used methods like drying, smoking, fermenting, and salting to keep food from spoiling. Drying and smoking remove moisture. This stops bacteria from growing. That's why even today, we still enjoy dried fish, smoked meat, and fermented food like purong isda and also tachara and many more. So these methods help our ancestors store food for a long period, especially during the rainy season or bad harvest. Indigenous technology yo-yo. The yo-yo is a famous invention made up of two round sticks, an axle in the middle, and a string. Today, we use it as a toy. But long ago, during the Spanish era, it had important purpose. Early Filipino used a bigger and heavier version of yo-yo as a weapon to protect themselves. Warriors would throw it at enemies, and its strength allowed them to pull it back quickly. This shows how creative, resourceful, and intelligent early Filipinos were in using simple materials for both play and protection.
Good day everyone! Today, I will be discussing some remarkable examples of indigenous Filipino technologies that have made a big impact not just here in the Philippines, but in the world as well. These inventions are proof that Filipinos are not only resourceful but also creative thinkers who find innovative solutions using what's around them. So, let's begin. Medical Incubator, Dr. Fe Del Mundo. Our first example comes from the field of medicine. Si Dr. Fe Del Mundo ay isang pediatrician na kilala sa kanyang malasakit sa mga bata, lalo na sa mga premature babies. During her time, many rural hospitals didn't have access to expensive incubator. Kaya gumawa siya ng simple pero life-saving invention, a medical incubator made from two laundry baskets with warm water running between them to regulate the temperature. This homemade incubator helped keep newborns warm and alive, especially in remote communities. It may seem simple pero napakalaki ng naging epekto nito. Her innovations saved countless babies' lives and show that true innovation starts with empathy and creativity, not just high-end technology. Erythromycin by Dr. Abelardo Aguilar. Next is another discovery from the medical field. Noong 1949, si Dr. Abelardo Aguilar na nagmula sa Iloilo collected soil samples from his backyard to study microorganisms. From those samples, he isolated a microbe that became the foundation of erythromycin, a powerful antibiotic used worldwide. Sadly, kahit groundbreaking ang discovery niya, the credit and patent went to his US employer, so he didn't receive recognition or royalties. Pero kahit ganon, his work became global significant, saving millions of lives. It reminds us that Filipino scientists can make world-class contribution kahit hindi laging nabibigyan ng spotlight. Fish sauce or yung patis by Roberta Tentay David Javier. Now, let's talk about something closer to home. Si Rupeta or tinatawag na Tentay Javier ang nakadiskubre ng patis, one of our essential Filipino condiments. Nag-umpisa ito sa isang accident. She left salted fish in jar long than usual. Instead of drying, nag-breakdown ang isda at naging isang maalat at malinamnam na liquid that became the first version of patis. This story shows Filipino creativity and practicality mula sa simpleng pagkakamali nakagawa tayo ng product na ngayon ay ina-export sa iba't ibang bansa, representing our locals flavors worldwide. Next is Banana Ketchup by Maria Orosa E. Ilagan. Next is the invention of banana ketchup by Maria Orosa, a food technologist and chemist decided to improving Filipino nutrition. During World War II, tomatoes were scarce, so naisip niya na gumamit ng mas abundant na ingredient, yun nga is yung banana. She created a recipe using mashed bananas, vinegar, sugar, and spices, and that's how banana ketchup was born. Hindi lang ito kitchen innovation, it was an act of national resilience. She also invented calamansi nip and soyalak, which helped feed soldiers and prisoners of war. Her work proves that science and compassion can work together to save lives. Anti-Cancer Cream and Mole Remover by Rolando de la Cruz. Another outstanding Filipino inventor is Rolando de la Cruz. He developed DBCC, an anti-cancer cream made from cashew nuts and local plants. It was found effective against basal cell carcinoma and even won a gold medal at the International Inventors Forum in 2005. Bukod dito, gumawa rin siya ng lotion para matanggal ng deep-seated moles and warts. What makes his inventions impressive is that they rely on natural ingredients available in the Philippines. His work proves that Filipino innovation can compete globally and that modern medicines can benefit from local indigenous knowledge. Lastly, 16-bit microchip by Diosdado Banatao. Finally, let's move to the world of technology. Si Diosdado Banatao ay isang Filipino engineer who invented the world's first 16-bit microchip. Later on, he also developed the single-chip graphical user interface accelerator. Because of this, computers evolved from single text-based system to machine capable of displaying images and graphics more efficiently. His innovation made computers faster, more interactive, and more accessible. Ipinapakita nito na ang galing at talino ng Pilipino ay may lugar kahit sa pinaka-advanced na global industries. So, in conclusion, from a simple laundry basket incubator to a world-changing microchip, one message stands out. Filipino creativity has no limits. Innovation isn't always about high-tech tools. Minsan, nagsisimula ito sa imagination, purpose, and heart. Lahat ng inventor na ito ay tumingin sa isang problema and ask, how can I make this better? And that is what true innovation is all about.